in McGee's Rocks.
Was it? And it was in Preston? Was it in Preston when you were a kid?
Yeah.
So where did your mom and dad come from? Do you know, did they come from the same place?
Poland.
Did they both together, or did they come separate?
I guess both together.
So were they married in Poland or married here?
I think over here.
Oh, were they married over here?
I'm not so sure.
Yeah. And then they lived in Preston?
Yeah.
And had how many kids?
9.
9 kids.
Yeah, we have 10. One died.
One died?
Yeah.
Wow. So do you know their names, oldest to youngest?
All the names.
Yeah. Who was first?
And let's see. Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Then me.
Okay.
And then Uncle Lawrence.
Yeah.
Lawrence. And then, gee, let's see. I think, and Mary. Then Jean. And then Joe. And then Florence. And then Eddie.
And that's 9.
Yeah.
And you're what, number 4? What number are you?
Wait, Mike, Rose, I'm number 3.
Oh, you're number 3.
Yeah, I was 84.
So, can you remember when you were a kid what it was like in Preston? Were you rich? Were you poor? What was the...
Well, we weren't rich. They all were poor over the years back.
Were they? Mm. And you were born in what year?
1910.
So that was way before the Depression, though.
Uh-huh.
How old were you for the Depression? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Were you married yet?
No, I was single.
Oh, were you?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that you always tell stories about how when you used to make soup or meat or something, the girls never got to eat the meat?
No, my mother used to make a big pot of soup, every day different soup. We'd eat soup with good rye bread. And no cakes or cookies. We had bread and apple butter jelly. We had that. Only on Sunday we'd have a chicken, you know, or stuffed cabbage once a week, you know. And she'd make homemade donuts, you know, and fill up with that. Well, we liked it. We were brought up that way. We liked it, you know.
No, so you had meat once a week?
Yeah.
And even on those weeks, it was only for, did the girls and the boys eat the meat?
The boys.
No girls?
No, my dad and Mike, and I think Lawrence.
They're the only people that got the meat?
Yeah.
Well, what did the girls eat?
We was eating all that soup with good rye bread.
That's it, soup every day?
Yeah, but a big bowl, though. But the soups were good, though.
Well, what kind of soup was it?
Potato soup, vegetable soup, lima bean soup, barley soup, all kinds of soup.
I'm surprised you weren't sick more. You would think you didn't get enough. Were you sick all the time or no?
No, crap. I never had a doctor when I was single. Never.
You're kidding.
None of us didn't have the doctor when we were single. In fact, Jean, she'd eat so much, and she was real thin. So my dad went, you know, these Europe people, they think you should be fat, you know, heavy a little bit. And he was worried, and he took her to a doctor's. He says, she eats, but she's skinny. And he examined her, he says, there's nothing wrong with her.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So Aunt Jean just kept eating and never got heavy?
After she got married, after the baby, she got heavy.
Yeah, wow. Okay, now, you had chores, right? Boys did, or did the boys work, or how did everybody go to school? How did that work? Did you go to school?
Oh, yeah, 5th grade.
To the 5th grade?
That's all, yeah.
That's it?
Then I was only 14, and I went to do housework.
And where would you do housework?
Yeah, because where else are they going to hire you when you're 14 years old?
So where would you do this housework?
Square Hill.
Squirrel Hill?
Yeah.
But if you lived in Preston, that's pretty far.
Oh, yeah.
How would you get there?
I had to go on streetcars. And we had no shopping bags either. My mother went and I had to take my clothes there because I slept there. I'd come home once a week.
You're kidding.
Sure. And only $3 a week. And I'd be off only Sunday. I had to leave Sunday morning, and that same Sunday evening I had to be back. And when I went there, you know, I had to take my clothes and everything with me, you know. So we had no shopping bags or anything. So my mother would make 2 packages wrapped it in newspaper and tied a string over it, and I had to take it like that on a bus.
And what were in these packages?
Good were my clothes because I stayed all week. You know, dresses and everything and all, and nightgowns and everything else, you know.
Well, didn't you just wash them at this woman's house, though?
Yeah, I washed it there, but I had to bring them, you know, from home first.
Wow. So what were these ladies like you worked for?
Huh?
What were these people like in Squirrel Hill?
Well, you really had to work hard.
Really?
Oh my God, 10 rooms and everything. It was hard. But one thing, they fed me real good.
Oh, did
A
they?
lot of food. And I used to joke around, you know. I said to my girlfriend, sure, they feed me real good because I have to clean the whole house, a big house, 10 rooms, so I have strength.
So if you're 14, you're born in 1910, we're talking about 1924. You took a streetcar to work in these women's house in Squirrel Hill.
2 streetcars.
So you'd go, what, downtown Pittsburgh?
Yeah, then from Pittsburgh, I went and got the Squirrel Hill car.
14 years old.
Yeah.
Were you scared the first time? Do you remember what it was like?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember. But you know how it is. It does scare you for a while, but you had to go. And then I was supposed to get off on certain street, you know, Whiteman Street, she was saying. Well, what happened, you get off the bus, there's Whiteman Street. It's like a little bit up the hill, there's pretty homes. You go one way and there's the other way, you know. And I didn't know that. I went and I kept on going way up there and I couldn't find it, you know, and stuff like that. So I seen somebody down the street, I asked them, she said, well, the other end you have to go. So I went all through all that trouble.
Wow, to finally get there.
Mm-hmm.
And how long did you clean people's houses, do you know? Till how old?
Wait. Oh, I guess till about 16, 18. About 18, then I got a job in Hotel Henry. I worked in the kitchen.
And where?
Hotel Henry in town.
Oh.
In the kitchen. I used to make salads and everything and all, you know.
Oh, really?
When I was young, yeah.
So you're 18 years old now. You only take one streetcar to downtown Preston, right?
Yeah.
So you're still living at home with your mom and dad?
Oh, yeah. I like that, you know.
They didn't. So in those days, did people go out and get their own apartment when they were 18, or no? Or you
No.
waited till you were married?
We wait till you get married.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
So how about dating? How old were you when you went on your first date? Do you remember?
18. I think I was going out with somebody. I can't remember this Eddie, I remember. But my dad knew his whole family, you know, and things like that. He let me go. But we had to be home at 9 o'clock.
At night?
At night. 9 o'clock, not later. And if we'd go to the parties or anything, no, what party? So when I told him, like, Helen Romanchak, you know, my dad knew the family, well, you can go and be home 9 o'clock, everything like that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he was very strict with us. He wouldn't beat us up, but he was very strict. All you have to take, he gives you one look, you get scared.
Well, what would he do?
Huh?
Nothing. You just knew he was mad.
What?
Well, he would never hit you, though.
No.
But he just looked.
Because we did what he wanted us, you know.
Wow.
And he didn't, Rose bought herself high heels. And he didn't like that. She used to hide them, you know, in the cupboards so he don't see when she goes out.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I remember talking about Aunt Rose. You guys used to fight over ironing.
Yeah.
How old were you now back then?
Well, we both were working. Maybe I was about 20 years old.
And what was the story there?
Well,
Chores were divided up? How it worked?
yeah. Well, what happened, we didn't have electric iron. We had a coal stove in the kitchen, and we had that heavy irons, you know. You got a handle, you got a hold of it, and you used to iron with that. When it cooled off, you put it back on the stove, you know. No electricity.
Whoa.
And I went, and my mother would divide it. We had to sprinkle the clothes. It's not like your permanent press, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she had to sprinkle it so they don't be wrinkled. She sprinkled it, and she had one pile for me, one for Rose. So what I did, I opened Rosie's, you know. She split with the shirts, so many shirts for her, so many for that, and pillowcases so much. And I went and I took my shirts and I stuck it in her bundle. And she found out, she was mad.
Why is she mad?
Yeah.
What did she do when you two would fight?
And she was arguing with me. She says, what did you do? She says, she went and got it here. But you ever do that again, you know?
Now, I also remember, and we're backing up a little bit, but when you were a kid, what school did you guys go to? Was it a private school or a Polish school, or?
Oh, first we went to the Polish school.
And that was across the McKees Rocks Bridge, right?
Yeah, Polish.
And the girls used to fight with you because you were Polish, right? They called you Inji Pinji or something.
Yeah, yeah.
How did that work?
Well, I don't know. They called me that after we quit going to that church. My dad went to this other church. They call it Indipinji. But when they see me, they knew me, you know, they call me Indipinji.
And what does Inji Pinji mean?
I don't know. That's a church they gave a nickname like.
Because you were Polish?
Not Polish. It don't belong under the bishop.
Oh, because it's Polish National Catholic Church instead of Roman Catholic.
Yeah, yeah.
And why did your dad change churches?
Well, the priest, they had a priest, you know, there, and they couldn't, everybody's giving money, and they didn't get all the money that they collected. So, the priest and everything, somebody was taking it.
Oh, they were stealing the money.
Yeah.
And it made your dad mad.
A lot of people, you know, step out. You know.
A lot of people left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, did your dad speak English?
A little bit.
But how did he speak to you?
Polish.
Only Polish?
Oh, all Polish, and my mother, yeah.
And your mother spoke Polish?
Yeah.
Would he let you speak English?
Oh, he didn't care, but, you know, he come from Poland, Polish, you know. We learned English by ourselves. We went to, after that, we went to another school. Instead of a Catholic school, we went to, you know, regular school like...
Yeah.
So we went over there, you know, but when I came out of school 14, I was only in the 5th grade. I didn't learn nothing. And when you do go to work, housework, it's good if you're young and you go work someplace and with people and talk.
Oh, yeah.
And you learn something. But housework, you're cooped in a house.
Yeah, that's right.
No people, you just work, see?
But you knew how to read and everything.
Yeah.
And you could do math and everything.
Yeah, I know how to read.
Oh, yeah. So you did learn something in school.
Oh, yeah, I did.
All the way.
Good grade, I did.
Okay, so now you're talking about when you were 18 when you started dating. So that's you're born 1910, so that's 1928 when you started dating. Where did you go on dates? What kind of places?
Who?
Like you, when you'd gone on dates.
Oh, just walk around pressing the bottom, just taking walks.
That was it? You just walked?
Yeah, nobody had cars, yeah.
Did you go to like stores or restaurants or anything?
Oh, no, no restaurants. Those days they didn't have money to spend, like, you know.
Really?
Young boys and everything that had to work. Everybody had big families, you know. Yeah.
Wow. Did you date a lot or a little bit? What would, like, let's say, not even you, if I would say, ask Aunt Rose, did my grandmother date a lot or a little bit? What would she say? Or one of your brothers or sisters?
Did I die?
Did you date a lot or a little bit? Compared to them, let's say.
I dated the most.
You did? Well,
yeah.
How come?
The most.
Why did you date the most?
I don't know, Eddie Farr, then that Dickinson there, and that German cook. Oh, Johnny Choco. About 6, 7 fellas.
Is that right?
I wouldn't go along, you know. I went, I thought I liked him, and I quit dating them. And the other one asked me so-and-so. And I met Frank in the Hotel Henry, where I was a salad girl. And I met him there, and he was a waiter, and that's how he got married. Yeah.
Okay, so you're working at the Hotel Henry, and you're making salads.
Yeah.
And then here's this guy from Germany, and he's a cook.
No.
Or a waiter. And so how old were you?
I don't know, I got married when I was 23 years old.
And how old was he?
He was the same age.
Oh, was the same age?
About a month difference.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened? Did he ask you out on a date? So here you are. You're downtown Pittsburgh working. Where did he live?
Well, he was born in Germany, and he come here young when he was 18 years old.
Yeah.
And he had an uncle in Oakland, you know, living there.
Yeah.
And his uncle's the one that got him a job at the hotel.
Oh.
Because he knew the head waiter, you know.
Oh, I see.
And he went there, and that head waiter, he knew how to talk German, so he was teaching him, you know, this is a fork, this is a knife, and then he used to go to night school, you know.
Really? To learn what?
Well, to talk in English was what, you know.
Really?
Sure, because he didn't know English, yeah.
So you're both 23, and he asked you out on a date. How did he, where, did he ask you formally, or did he just mention it, or how did your first date happen?
Oh, I don't know. When I was working there, he always asked me for date, you know. I didn't go right away.
Oh, you said no for a while?
For a while, yeah. Then after a while, I did, you know.
You said okay. Mm-hmm. And what did you do? Did you go somewhere? Did you just walk around, or did he come to Preston? How did it work?
Well, I tell you, we didn't go out much because I worked there, and he worked different shifts in Hotel Henry. Not like late at night.
Yeah.
And I worked there, and I quit at 5 o'clock in the evening, so we didn't have much to go out together.
So how long did you date him for then, before you got married?
Maybe about a year and a half.
Oh, so it was a long time. It wasn't real fast.
No.
Did he ever meet your dad? He must have met your dad, right?
Yeah.
Did your dad like him?
Oh, yeah.
Did he? Mm-hmm. How come? Because he's from Europe, maybe, or?
No. It was you know, the way he talked and everything. He liked him, and my mother liked him, and my aunt knew that I was going to bring him up the house, and my aunt come too, you know, and my aunt liked him too.
What did you do? Sit around and eat dinner together?
Oh, no, just in the living room.
Just sat around the living room and talked?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So how did he ask you to marry him? Where were you? What happened? How did it go?
Oh, Jesus, God, I can't remember.
You don't remember?
No, let's see. Just asked me to get married, but what month and what, I can't remember.
You don't remember where it was or anything?
Mm-mm.
Did he give you a ring?
Yeah.
He did give you a ring when he asked you to marry him? What kind of ring was it?
Wedding ring.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Did it have a little diamond or a pearl or what?
Like a couple diamonds.
It did? Oh, so he gave you a diamond ring when he asked you to marry him?
It really wasn't a real diamond, but it was a ring, though.
A nice ring.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just understand. So if you're born in 1910 and he asked you when you were 23, this is 1933.
1934.
1930. Oh, so he probably asked you in 33 and you got married in 34 then?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Where did you have the wedding?
Down at the house.
Oh, it was in the house, the wedding?
Yeah, it was during the Depression.
Oh, yeah.
So nobody was working, you know, and everything else, you know. And then there was a little store there right down Preston, you know, Amshel. Well, my mother was dealing with him for years, you know, so she got everything, like, marked down in the books, you know, and that
on credit, like
credit,
she owed her, yeah.
So here, they got everything for the wedding, you know, and all. And after the wedding, they gave him the money, and then my dad counted, I was $8 short.
Oh, so you mean with wedding gifts? So you were able to pay for everything with wedding gifts?
Yeah.
Good.
Because my dad didn't have it. So I was $8 short. Then after a while, day after the wedding, I had to go to Hotel Henry and work.
No.
Sure, because we didn't have no money to go work for a while. How you like that? Mm-hmm.
So did you actually get married in the church and have the reception at the house, or did you get married in the house too?
I got married in church.
So you had the wedding in the church, then you had reception at your house?
Yeah, I mean, I got married in church.
Yeah,
yeah,
with the priest?
Yeah, with the priest, and I had 2 bridesmaids.
Who were your bridesmaids?
Mike and one of my girlfriends, and I forgot who the other was. Or just did I have one?
So none of your sisters, though?
No, I think I had one that was Depression.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
right, yeah.
I had Marville and everything else. And
Did you have a wedding dress?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get it?
Well, my Aunt Wallet, you know, she, I think she knows a lot of, she had friends from South Side. They used to come visit my aunt went there. So there was some kind of bridal store there, and you get cheap clothes, wedding gowns.
Oh.
So then what I got the dress. It was in August, so I got the satin dress, and I got the veil, $17.
Was it brand new?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Don't forget how many years, you know.
Yeah.
Because people weren't making money, you know, at that time, you know. So I bought that, and I got that dress someplace yet.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy, I didn't know that. Well, where did you get $17?
Well, I was making $17 a week, so
Oh, so it was your money from where you worked, and
yeah.
you had to pay for the reception and everything.
Yeah, after I collected.
Was there a lot of people there? A little wedding, big wedding, do you remember?
Preston, the kitchen and the living room was, you know, just filled up, you know.
Boy, that's nice. Was it a fun day, a happy day? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah. It was on August the 25th I got married.
Really?
And Aunt Rose, her birthday's August the 25th. And people were given money, each one gave $1.
For your wedding?
Wedding. You know, because depression.
Yeah. Do you remember how much you got?
I don't remember, but I know it's $8 short.
Short of what you needed.
Yeah, so I went back, I was working, so I gave it back.
Okay, so now you're married. Where did you and your husband Frank live? Where did you go after the wedding?
Well, we lived, let's see,
So that your wedding night, did you go to you have a new apartment, or did you stay at your own houses, or how'd that work?
no, that night, I think I didn't have the apartment yet. I slept at Rosie's place on the floor.
No, on your wedding night.
Yeah.
Was Frank with you?
But sure.
So you two slept on the floor at your sister's house on your wedding night?
And so finally we got a room in the same apartment, you know, right by the McKees Rock Bridge, you know. There used to be a big garden, you know. So Rose lived on the second floor, and on the third floor there was rooms, so there was an empty room. So we got that one room for ourselves. So we had that one room for the longest time.
You mean it was one room?
One room bed.
Not two rooms?
No, bedroom only.
What did you do having it? You had a bed and what else?
Bed and a little dresser, you know, and stuff, a chair, that's all.
How about food?
Huh?
How'd you eat?
Oh, down Rosie's place. See, she lived on the second floor, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd eat down there, you know.
You're kidding. You didn't even have a stove or refrigerator.
No, no.
You had one room.
Well, usually on Sundays, I had to buy food and I'd cook it there, because he was a waiter. He used to eat in a hotel, and I used to work in the restaurant. I used to eat meals in a hotel too.
It sounds like it was hard. Was it hard?
Well, what are you going to do? But then finally, after a while, on the other side, there's a family moved, so there was a bedroom and a kitchen. So what happened? We took that in the same building, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so we had the bedroom, and then we had a kitchen. So we got a second-hand, stove, and a table, and we must have had a Frigidaire. What else would they? I can't remember properly. I had a little Frigidaire. Everything's second-hand.
Do you remember how much rent you paid for the first one room even?
No, I can't remember that.
But you can only afford one room is all.
Oh, yeah. But then I went to 2 rooms, you know.
And how long did you live in the one room? Do you remember?
Oh, about not quite a year.
Really? And then you
Yeah.
moved to 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
And somewhere in there, you got pregnant, right?
No, I didn't get pregnant then. Then what I did, he was working up in that Shandy Hotel, you know.
Oh, so he changed jobs. He wasn't at the Hotel Henry anymore.
Hotel Henry. So it was okay when we were down the bottoms, you know, and stuff like that. And it was too much. He was working different hours, you know. In the morning from 6 or something to 11:30.
Yeah.
And then he'd be off till 5:30.
Oh.
And he had to go 5:30 to work to 9. And then, you know, he's from Oakland, taking 2 streetcars. He didn't want to ride to McKees Rocks. I had a bedroom there in the kitchen. It would, you know, take too much time and everything. So he used to go to show, movies, and sit there and fall asleep there.
Every day?
Every day.
So he worked in the morning, and then he had off all afternoon. He'd go to a show to sleep, and then he'd go back to work at night. Every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that must have been hard on him.
What was, so what are you going to do those days, you know?
So how did you, somewhere, I know you moved because you got pregnant. Now how did...
Then I went and I figured it's so hard for him to, you know, not to sleep at home, only in the movies. You don't rest up good. So I went and moved to Oakland, just about 2 blocks away from hotel. He was working then at Hotel Shenley.
So he changed jobs.
Yeah. So I went and moved down in Oakland, you know, because it was only 2 blocks away from Hotel Shenley. So he was able to come home sleep in the afternoon.
Now, did you have a baby yet?
No.
But you were pregnant.
Yeah.
So you got an apartment in Oakland, and if I remember, it wasn't a nice apartment, was it? Or wasn't it a bad apartment, or was it the bottoms that had the bad apartment with roaches or something? Or no?
Oh, don't put that on the thing there.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
No.
Well, where was the bad apartment?
No, that was nothing. It was 2 nice rooms, no roaches.
Where, in Oakland now? or Bottoms?
Down the Bottoms.
So what kind of apartment did you have in Oakland?
Well, Oakland was nice.
Okay. How many apartments, how many rooms in Oakland?
2.
Just 2?
But nice rooms. Nice kitchen and nice bedroom. Yeah.
Okay, so kitchen and a bedroom, so just 2 rooms.
And a bath. It was real nice.
Oh, and a bathroom, your own bathroom, or did you share the bathroom?
No, my own.
Really? But in the Bottoms you had to share your bathroom,
Yeah,
right?
there's a older couple lived downstairs. They're real nice people. They didn't want anybody to argue or fight or drink, you know.
This is in the Bottoms?
No, this
in
was
Oakland?
in Oakland,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Good. All right. Now, so when did you get pregnant, though? We keep getting back. When did Uncle Johnny come along?
Well,
You're living in Oakland.
let's see. I'm all mixed up with that. Oh yeah, I lived in Oakland when I had Johnny.
But did you get pregnant in Oakland or in Preston? Do you know? I mean, in Bottoms. Do you know?
Oakland.
Oakland.
Yeah, and finally, I went and wait. Oakland. Oh yeah. So then I got pregnant now, and then after that,
And do you remember how old you were?
I think I was 23. As soon as I got married at 23, I must have got married when I was about 20.
Oh, married at 20, and then so you had Uncle Johnny when you were 23.
Yeah.
Okay.
I lost a lot of weight. I couldn't get thin, you know. I got real thin. So the doctor told me he's just to get pregnant and I'll gain weight.
Are you serious?
Honest to God,
And is that why you got pregnant?
Yeah.
So did you go to your husband and say, Frank, the doctor said I have to get pregnant because I'm too thin?
Yeah.
Is that right? And what did he say?
Nothing. She said, we can have one child.
Because probably back then you had to think about money, right?
Yeah, that's
If you can afford it.
So then, all right then, so I went and I was pregnant when I was in Oakland, you know. And I used to go down my mother's place because very seldom was home the way he was working, you know. And I'd go down my mother's place and everything and stay in the afternoon and till the evening I'd go home. And that same night, I come home here, I had landed to go to a hospital. I was ready to have my baby.
The night you went to visit your mother, the night you went home?
Yeah. See, because he told me that the doctor that I have him around December the 13th, you know, the baby.
Yeah.
And this was like the beginning. It was on the 5th of December. I had it earlier.
Oh.
So I went home and everything, and I started getting pains and all, and then I even figured, well, I was going to go in the Ohio Valley Hospital, you know. That's where I had him.
You did have an Ohio Valley?
Yeah.
But I thought you went home to Oakland and you got
Yeah.
pains? Well, how in the world did you get to Ohio Valley Hospital from
Well,
Oakland?
My landlady called the cab, and I called Helen McNally, and she says, get the cab and come up my place, and she says, I'll see what's what, and then she called the doctor, you know, so-and-so, how often I got the pains, and he said, take her to the hospital.
Wow, so you had to take a cab from Oakland to Helen's house?
Yeah.
Well, that must have been, you didn't take a cab all the time, did you? Because that's expensive.
No, but I had to, you know, to get up Helen's place.
And you
know.
went to the hospital?
Yeah.
And you had the baby? Mm-hmm. Was it a hard birth or an easy birth? Do you remember?
Oh, God, I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Do you remember if your husband Frank was with you? Or
No.
how did he find out that you were in the hospital? Because you didn't have phones, right? Did you have phones?
No, my landlady had a phone. You know, I could use her phone.
And did you call him?
I went down and I called him. I want to talk to him, and he's ready to come. I said to him, I'll call the cab. I'm going to the Helen McNally, and she's going to take me to the hospital. I think I'll have my baby, you know. So next morning, my baby was born.
And
it was a boy.
So was your husband excited?
Huh? Yeah. First boy, you know. And then I says, and the next time I says, I'll have the girl. So I had Barbara. Then it was the opposite way, you know. Then when I got pregnant with Barbara, we moved, you know, to, when the hell did we move? Oh yeah, we moved down at Bottoms. You know where Kabalatka lived?
Uh-huh.
Well, we got those rooms because I was pregnant with Barbara.
So you moved from Oakland?
Yeah. I moved on the bottom.
Well, hold it. Before you do that, though, so does that mean that you and Frank and a little baby lived in one bedroom and a kitchen, and that's all you had? Right?
Yeah.
So you were still in that apartment when you moved to the bottoms, when you got pregnant? Because you figured you couldn't have two babies in 2 rooms, right?
No. I got pregnant with her, and I had the baby. I lived in Oakland, and I was going to the doctor from Oakland. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And stuff like that. So here, I told him, I says that, you know, I want to have her in Ohio Valley Hospital, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of, no, Montefiore. Oh, Montefiore Hospital. So I had her in Montefiore Hospital. It's in Oakland.
Uh-huh.
So we lived in Oakland, and I had her there. And whenever I had Johnny, I lived in Oakland, and I had the baby in Ohio Valley.
Okay.
So that's
And then you
it.
still lived in Oakland?
Mm-hmm.
And then how long till you got pregnant again?
Well, I'm talking about her. Johnny was 4.5 years.
When you got pregnant again?
Yeah.
And when you got pregnant, were you living in Oakland or were you living in the bottoms?
I
The
lived
second time?
in Oakland.
Okay, and then when you got pregnant, you moved back to the bottoms?
Yeah.
To where Chutka lived?
Yeah, and after a while, when I was going to have her, father, he lived over there in Stella. And I told him I got pains and everything, so from bottoms, they took me to Oakland to the hospital. What a switch, huh?
Yeah, back and forth. Now,
Yeah.
how'd you get to Oakland this time, the second time? With my mother? The cab again?
No, the cab I called up whenever I was with Johnny.
Uh-huh.
See?
Yeah.
But whenever I was supposed to have her, well, Frank was working night turn, the priest and Stella come with me. The priest took me.
So he had a car?
Yeah, the priest has to have a car.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's it. Oh, shit, that's enough.
Okay. All right, that's enough? Okay. Okay, so then you just lived in the bottoms and then...
Yeah.
And that's it?
Holy crap, I didn't have some good day. You know what?
Okay.
I